This is Shadowfang Keep as a Beast Mastery Hunter. So showing a new character here. I've had him for a little while. As I've said before, I'm not a huge fan of the Hunter class, but I still want to learn it and play it and see what it's like. So I took him to a few dungeons. He's level 20 right now. Some weird stuff happened in here that I thought was maybe worth showing. Just to show what it looks like when a certain thing goes wrong. Alright, so we have Paladin Tank way back there working on picking up quests and stuff. Some kind of Warlock, some kind of Rogue, and I think that's a Druid? Alright, so anyway, right, a Hunter. The only physical ranged damage class. I get to use a bow, and I have a pet who can contribute some damage for me. So my pet has its own action bar there above mine. I have it set up to so that if I press like Control 1, Control 2, I can do those pet commands. They happen mostly automatically. Control 3 I think is the only one I'd want to invoke manually. I forget what it does, just boosts... Wait, which pet do I have right now? It's a cat, that's right. Yeah, so I think that boosts both of our damage for a moment. Something like that. Number 1 is Cobra Shot, 2 is Barbed Shot, 3 is Kill Command, 4 is, I forget what it's called, my multi-attack. So anyway, yeah, so my resource is called Focus. It works basically like a Rogue's Energy or a Monk's Energy, Mistweaver or Brewmaster. All classes that I know I haven't played on video here. Cobra Shot uses Focus, Barbed Shot generates it. So I'm going to use Barbed Shot to get Focus back, but it has its own cooldown. Kill Command tells my pet to do a heavy attack. So I just kind of alternate Cobra Shot and Kill Command when they're ready and when I have enough Focus. If 3 or more targets use whatever my number 4 is. Multi-Shot I think it's called. And those are most of the ones to worry about. Anyway, so you'll notice as the dungeon goes on that this paladin is playing kind of strangely. Not how you normally see a tank in this game behave, and everybody in the dungeon isn't really expecting him to do things the way he does. So like the rhythm's just like way off. He's a slow one, as in like goes at a slow pace. The way this dungeon is tuned basically means that you can pretty much do this without a tank if you need to. But it, it's a lot smoother if you have one who goes at the group's pace and knows what they're doing. Thing is though, usually I think the ideal is that the group would adapt to the tank's pace. And I try pretty hard to stay behind him, even though the other 2 damage dealers kind of really don't. The problems haven't become super obvious yet. Like, I've noticed what's going on already, and I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be an interesting run. Also, Baron Ashbury dies right at the end of Stay of Execution, before anybody heals up. So I just eat this food that Pendarin start with, because I haven't given him anything else. It doesn't heal him much. But, there's a bunch of downtime here. Oh, right, Deathstalker Commander Belmont has a quest to turn in. But I can do that while he's unlocking this door. He sure takes his time on that. So yeah, tank was just weird. Other 2 damage dealers really wanted to go at their own pace and had a strong idea of how a dungeon should be done. In their opinion, that, what's that called? Felguard is super tiny, and I was wondering why. It's so small. Does it just look like that way because I'm a giant panda bear? Or like... Huh. Like, the Vopera is not the Warlock. I was wondering if, like, a tiny little fox character would have a tiny little Felguard as a pet. Yeah, so notice, Mr. Paladin there is not really taking a lot of actions. He's just kind of standing and auto-attacking on like 1 or 2 targets at a time. He's doing literally nothing right now. Backing up slowly. Turning with the keyboard, I can tell. He's like, you know, you can turn with the keyboard or the mouse. Mouse is a lot quicker and more responsive. You can tell it's sort of the signature constant rate of turning when people are using the keyboard for that sort of thing. Just doing a lot of things that are... The thing is, like, he moves with some confidence. He seems to know the route through here. Doesn't seem like a new player. Just somebody who, I don't know, does not play like what I or these other people are used to playing with, it seems. Healer was really good. This druid knew exactly what she was doing. Kept everybody alive. You'll see an example of that in a moment here. Alright, it is Grizzly Trophy season for him. Darkman Fair is in town, so I'm collecting those. Yeah, so he runs off here. Again, I'm trying to stick with my tank, stay behind him, play the way that, you know, the conventional way. Everybody else has run in there ahead of him and has engaged the other room full of those things. So right, Laura here is splitting her attention between the two groups, keeping them healed just fine. It's no problem. There's not enough damage going on for that to be a problem. Mr. Zalian finally notices that the rest of his party is not with him, and turns around and comes in here. The way he was going is a valid route to go through the dungeon. You can go that way. It's fine. Just these other two had other ideas. So I'm kind of waiting a moment to engage in combat to let him get some threat, because he's not really using a lot of threat abilities. Not even consecrating for these four things he's in combat with. Where'd the other two go? They're behind me somewhere. Where did they go? This rogue and warlock just like disappeared somewhere. What happened to them? Hold on, I'm gonna have to watch that back and see what was going on in the minimap. Because I thought they were in here fighting these. Did they like go out to fight those optional horses or something? Their health bars were full. Maybe they were back, like, turning in the quest with Deathstalker Commander Belmont or something, but wouldn't they have done that before? Whoa, okay, so there was even more weird stuff going on here than I realized. So right, this isn't going to work. You can't really hold threat if you're just going to sit and take no action there, and that's what he was doing. I was waiting about as long as felt reasonable before I engaged. To try and not pull threat off of him, but, like, when he's not generating any, I don't have a lot of options. I'm kind of avoiding my multi-shot ability just because, you know, if I'm doing multi-target damage and he's not, then a lot of stuff's going to come onto me. But I mean, for as weird as this is, everybody's getting away with it. I think this is largely to the healer's credit. She is making this run work. I'm doing what I can, but in my position as a hunter, there's only so much I can do. We'll see some things during this boss fight that I'm not used to seeing. So yeah, Baron Silverlane, you know, you fight him for a little while. He uses Summon Worgen Spirit, and then some other dude comes along who disappears after he's dead. I had only ever seen one Worgen Spirit summoned, but apparently more than one can be summoned during this encounter. And we'll get to see that here. Aren't we lucky? So he casts it. I'm looking for where the Worgen Spirit is. Takes a moment to show up. There he is, Oda the Blind Watcher. Doesn't really need to be paid attention to, but yeah, so another Summon Worgen Spirit went off. And out comes Razorclaw the Butcher. So he's here. Yeah, that's pretty sure the first time I've seen more than one get summoned in this. So yeah, for single target stuff, you know, with this this kind of playing, kind of works. It's just like on multi-target, he's just not really using his abilities effectively for holding threat on multiple targets. Nobody has spoken up about this yet. I'm certainly not going to. I'm happy to just take this as an extra challenge to the dungeon. It's like, oh, okay, one of the players is playing weird. That's fine. Let's figure out how to get it done under these conditions. This is part of the fun. Like, I wouldn't say I enjoyed this run, but I enjoy the idea of, you know, having to figure out how to work through a handicap like this, I guess. It was interesting, which is a kind of enjoyable, right? Maybe? Kinda? He got stuck on that wall and took a while to figure out how to navigate around it. Meanwhile, the rogue and the... Where's the warlock right now? I don't see him. I think the warlock's just having his Voidwalker do the... play the tank role for him, because it can do that. My pets can too. Control 4 there on my pet action bar is Growl. So that's a taunt that the pet can just automatically do on my primary target. So he'll pull threat off of me and hold it while I stay at a distance. So I could have that happen, but you know, it automatically gets turned off in a dungeon, and usually you want it if you have an actual dedicated tank player. So yeah, you don't want your pet to growl, you don't want your Voidwalker out. But the Warlock has decided that that's what he wants to do. So back to Felguard. All different servers, so nobody in this party knows anybody else, presumably. Okay, so I just used, I think that's called Bestial Wrath. The number 9 increases my damage and my pet's damage for a little while. Just, you know, button you can press when you engage a boss to do more damage for a while. It also makes me red and glowy. It's kind of cool. Not making any effort up there to move out of Commander Springvale's Death and Decay. This druid's probably having a lot of fun. I would have enjoyed healing this party more than I enjoyed, you know, being along for the ride with this driver. I knew from past experience that if you want to turn in your quest and chain on to the next part of it, you have to wait for Deathstalker Commander Belmont to give you permission to turn it in here. And again, this paladin seems to know that. Like, he's familiar with the route through here. I just wonder what is happening on the other side of the internet connection here. Like, something is going on. This is just not how a player plays this game normally. There he is. He found his way through. Right, Warlock switched back to Voidwalker at this point and is taking the lead. He does have the party leader flag, to be fair. There's Consecrate, finally. And just stand there while a different target hits him for a while. Eventually start the attack on him. Just so weird to watch. Alright, more gargoyles. Some geists over there. He's gonna ignore the gargoyles, I think, and just go for the geists. I wonder if he's playing in first-person view. Like, you can do that. You can zoom the view all the way in and won't see anything behind you. Maybe that's part of what's happening here. Maybe. And with audio off. So first-person view, audio off. Warlock finally decides to express his displeasure. These are the only words spoken throughout the entire run. I mean, from his actions, I could kind of guess what he was thinking, that he confirmed it there. No one responds, no one says anything else. So nobody knows what the story is. I mean, I wouldn't answer a question like that, for one thing. Wait. Oh, there were more words spoken. Okay, I didn't realize those were there. Just being impatient. And that Voidwalker's health was going up fast. I don't have a Warlock character yet. The last Horde race I still need to unlock is what I want for that. So I haven't had the opportunity to create one. Don't know how they work these days, or what kind of minion healing abilities they might have, or if maybe the Druid was healing him. I am still insisting on staying behind him. He's leading at his pace, and I'm going to follow. Give him a chance to learn to be a leader, maybe. Even if the rest of the party doesn't want to. Yeah, so, boss has been engaged already. It's fine. We get this done. It is okay, it's just weird, that's all. So I guess I'm being careful with my barbed shot here, making sure that it expires or close to it before I apply another one. Because on a long fight I'm going to run out of charges on that. I don't know super well how to play Beast Mastery Hunter. I've never done it before. The last Hunter I had played was Marksmanship Specialization. Beast Mastery was the default when I created this character, and I figured, I don't know, I can try something different, figure out how it works. I didn't really enjoy Marksmanship all that much when I played it, so I figured maybe Beast Mastery is better. So yeah. Figuring it out, yeah, so I'm guessing that the idea would be you'd want barbed shot to stay up because it's, let's see, so it generates focus and also is a bleed effect on the target. So target will be losing health while the debuff is up on them. And since it has 2 charges and recharges slowly, I want to probably wait for right around the time it falls off or is about to fall off before I renew it and spend another one of my charges of it. I'm not sure. I guess it keeps continually generating focus the whole time that it's up. So yeah, just maximizing uptime of barbed shot is probably what I want to do in a fight like that. Near as I can tell. I've checked damage meters for this character, and what I'm doing seems to work, I guess, even if I don't feel like I understand it super well. Just kind of press buttons. You know, if you're single targets, Let barbed shots just about run out before he recast it, and that's about it, I guess. Use the appropriate single target or multi-target abilities as the situation calls for. There's a lot of consistency in feeling between classes now, like, just like with a fire mage, where, you know, if I have 3 or more targets, I want to flame strike instead of pyroblasting. So here, I'm using the same threshold. If it's 3 or more targets, I want a multi-shot instead of cobra shot. Deathstalker Commander Belmont's supposed to come open this door. I walk up to it, and I see him immediately come from there, so I think you have to approach the door for him to arrive, but nobody had gotten close enough to it until I did. At least I think that's what happened, or maybe he was just coming the whole time and just hadn't arrived yet. I'm going to get a different pet. This cat's very noisy. Makes that noise all the time. High Warlord Chromush is here. He shows up a lot in the story later. He is a significant character. Deathstalker Commander Belmont, on the other hand, I don't know if he ever shows up again. Not as far as I know. So being that I'm playing a ranged damage role, I'm wondering if I can just stay here while we fight, what's this guy's name? Lord Godfrey. He was taken to a really weird spot, like up there next to the stairway. Cat's taken some damage from the pistol barrage. That's fine. I think I throw a mend pet on him at some point. I have that up in a different section of my action bar. I tried to do it. I missed, though. Oh, no, I didn't. He's not in line of sight, so I can't mend him from there. Mend Pet just restores his health slowly. I hit it once, and he regenerates for a bit. But yeah, I can see my pet's action bar, health bar up there near mine. So I want to get a little closer so I can actually mend Pet. Did I do it, though? I don't think I did. Nope, Pet died. Alright, so Revive Pet was number 4. Wasn't so familiar with this character that I knew where it was immediately. So yeah, if my pet dies, I can just press a button and have him back right away. That's a really tough jump to make. I pressed the button slightly too late and fell off instead. I always try for the jump. I don't always make it. It's surprisingly tight. Alright, and that's Shadowfang Keep with a tank who plays really strangely. We got it done! Nobody died. You know, nobody got too bent out of shape about anything. Hopefully he learned something. Hopefully the rest of the people learned something. I don't know. That was something. Alright, see you for the next one.